Hello everyone, I'm Rasa, welcome back to our Power Rangers vlog. And today's episode, Deep Down Under, which really had no purpose to the whole episode. They really had no reason to call it that. Well, anyway, this is actually a continuation from last week's episode, where our Rangers were in New Zealand. Good news is, since they have the purple energy gem, all they need to do is find the plesiosaur, what connects with this gem. The problem is, for some funny reason, if the Zord and the gem don't connect with each other within a certain amount of time, the Zord will start getting sick and will slowly die. Which leads to my question, does anyone care about the Aqua Zord? It didn't have the energy gem. No one has even found the energy gem. And yet they're like, okay, so we ignore the Aqua Zord, and yet we're worried about the purple Zord. Throughout the time, Kendall suggests to go see this scientist, who I cannot pronounce his name at this moment, who's famous with plesiosauruses. And to be funny, Shelby, throughout the whole time, is having a little bit of a fangasm, all excited to see this guy. So at least they keep him with the tone that Shelby loves fossils. I'm happy with that. And is a little bit all like making sure how everyone looks, and even complaining about Coda that he wasn't wearing shoes. And during this time, Sledge and Fury are thinking of just to destroy the Zord since they got the gem. Just do that. And Fury decides to resurrect the meteor monster from last week's episode. So at least that's decent enough. And during this time, our Rangers meet the scientist, who is a little bit of a complete ass. When I mean ass, I mean when they were going to take his photo, he was hoping for the front cover, but it's going to be the back. Oh, where the words are going to be coming from in the book when you have to show it to the front cover. So it's better. Hey, at least he's on the cover of a book. Be on the back, at least. It means somebody's looked. And when he meets the Rangers, his only response, he was looking at him like a complete idiot. He was like, they said, "Hi, I'm Shelby. I called you earlier about what's going on. We were going to meet you here. We're from the Museum for America." "Oh, my competition." I'm thinking, what competition? Even Shelby was confused, like, wait, competition? I'm a fan of your book. So is everyone else who read it. I'm like, yep, he's an ass. And he just told them, yeah, they're just looking for the New Zealand I don't know how it was, I forgot it. But it's basically the equivalency of the Loch Ness Monster, what they're looking for. And they decided, we'll split up and look for it. We had Coda and Ivan in the Megazord taken through the skies, which I did not know that the Megazord can be used for aerialness. They could have just used the Zord to get to places instead of needing airplane tickets or all that stuff. Riley and Chase are motorcycling on the beach in their ranger suits, which they need. They're being ranger costumes to ride motorcycles, or it's just needs to be that specific motorcycle they need their ranger suits. While Tyler and Shelby are not morphed and are exploring the beach. And lucky Shelby was holding the purple energy gem because they found the plesiosaur. And then Fury and Meteor comes to attack it. Well, mostly Meteor, as Shelby took a photo of it just before it was about to run away. Well, video it. They called in all the Rangers, they start moving to combat, and I give Meteor one credit that it has a high endurance because they used the Dino spike on him, and he is still standing from that hit, where most times they use the Dino spike, it was always a finisher. They run off, and Fury thinks of a new way of trying to find the plesiosaur. They're kidnapping the scientist, or threatening his life. And what Fury's idea of how he was trying to get the plesiosaur felt like it was a smart idea, but then he screwed it up by talking without using inner thoughts. He said, "We're going to find this living plesiosaur," which got the scientist all excited because there he could be getting the fame he wants. And then Fury says, "And I'm going to destroy it," which would have he could have just kept that thought in himself and just make the guy think he's doing this for whatever, all the money in the world, all the fame. He didn't have to tell me he was going to destroy it. And this is why Sledge don't like you, Fury, anymore, because you're an idiot. And since he explained that the 6 teenagers found it, teenagers? For Lord's sakes, I think they're about over 18. Is 18 still considered a teenager? I thought that makes you a young adult. Whatever. Scientist was like, those guys. And decided to do a little bit more of a nicer guy to Shelby. Even about to sign her book while she had to go get her pen. And when she went to go get a pen, he got into her phone, found the video, and emailed it. Which I'm thinking, wow, he is sticking to the ass terms. And they didn't find out until Kendall explained to them that he basically shown the whole country that the plesiosaur exists. And he's going to be famous about it. And during that time, Shelby literally walks up to him and calls him out on it while he's doing the Vader crap of saying, join me and we could be famous. And she's just calling him out, insulting him, and stating, yeah, if people found out this exists, hunters will come in this country and looking for him. I'm like, it's a Zord. Aren't you supposed to take it with you? And also, I don't think bullets and traps will stop a Zord. And if they do, those are some weak-ass Zords. Not gonna lie. Yeah, she just calls him out on it, insults him, and then just leaves as he was like, starts having a change of heart. And lucky for them, they found the location where the plesiosaur was. They were going to go into the cave, and then the scientist followed them, either because he wants to see this. And then came the line, which kind of irked me in the Power Rangers universe of the American verse. Well, basically. As soon as they said, this is not actually a plesiosaur, but more of a Zord. And then the scientist says, wait, Zords? That means you guys are... That's something only like Power Rangers would use. Which then lets me to the question. Somebody explain this world about the Power Rangers. Are they supposed to keep their secret identity, or do everyone knows what a Power Ranger is? I can understand the first generation, the very first Mighty Morphin ones, they had to keep their secret identity, but then again, there was no real reason that they needed this. They keep the secret identity since the villain can see them through a scope. Sorry, I was going with the original. But also, this kind of confused me now with their whole world now. Since, if this is going on to the same world thing, then I did watch a little bit of Power Ranger RPM and got what hell's going on. It was basically like post-apocalypse machines. Basically, we're trying to wipe out all humans. So I'm thinking, what, after the events of RPM, they were able to fix the whole world, populate all the, bring back all the animals, repopulate everyone. Because that was like from Samurai, the Mega Force, and now where we at, Dino Charge. So a lot have happened throughout that time. I'm confused. At least in the Japanese versions of Power Rangers, it's at least going with alternate dimensions. Multiple dimensional worlds with different variations of Power Rangers. That actually makes some sense in some weird way. America needs to do a better job with world building. Because why do they need to keep a secret that they are Power Rangers if people know what a Power Ranger is? Well, Fury and Meteor show up with minions, and the sadder part is the minions have guns, and they shot at them while the Rangers were morphing, which I'm taking against all of Sledge's minions took training in the Stormtroopers classes of how to shoot a bullet, because they can't shoot anything. I'm taking against Stormtrooper School is actually the cheapest for people to buy. I mean, for those bosses to train their minions. Yeah, they do the battles. Shelby runs into the cave as a scientist. Well, the scientist went into the cave first, and then Shelby followed after. And then Meteor. Meteor was able to do a good shot, making Shelby to the ground. And what Shelby did was hand the scientist the Energem, and he tosses it to the plesiosaur. Which wouldn't make sense if Shelby could just throw it instead of him. I was just thinking for a moment, he was going to be the Purple Ranger. Oh well. Yeah, as soon as the plesiosaur got its power, Meteor ran like a little bitch and kept running out the cave, knocking everyone in his path. Which was kind of funny because... And there's one that caught me off guard. I thought the plesiosaur was a water creature. This Zord is flying. It just flew in and shot me off the ground into the air, which was kind of funny. And Sledge did the giant monster thing, and I thought, okay, call out your Zords. No, they didn't. They jumped into the plesiosaur, and the plesiosaur rammed the meteor into space, which was funny also to see that. And also the plesiosaur, it's its own Megazord like the pterosaur. So whoever's going to be the Purple Ranger, they get their own Megazord and have to work with anyone else unless they want to do the Zord fusion thing. Anyway, and also the plesiosaur has two powers: Rocket Punch and a laser cannon, and which that they destroyed Meteor. And which I'm thinking either the laser cannon can only do one shot, or Sledge was on the other side of the planet, or they could have just did the turn around, shoot Sledge. There you go, the threat's gone. I don't get it. I didn't get that logic. And they just used the plesiosaur to fly back to America. This episode kind of like irked me in so many ways. The scientist being a complete ass, and it took Shelby to chew him out for him to find out, yeah, I shouldn't be much of an ass. I originally did fossils because I loved fossils and wanted to meet a real live dinosaur. That was kind of a little bit of like a quick change. Annoyed me about the whole Power Ranger universe, if people know what a Megazord and a Ranger is. And then finally, Riley stated a comment throughout the whole time, which even I'm feeling the same way. Why is Sledge reusing the same monsters? So either Sledge does not want to lose any more money on the bounties he captured, or he has a limited amount and just want to keep using the same ones because he's cheap. Or the final thought, it's better to just send out the same ones over and over again, because it's getting a little annoying about that. Or here's an idea, Sledge: make two of the same monster, put one in a cage, there you get to keep the bounty, and send the other one to the Rangers to get killed. There, that way, you get to at least keep your money. That's all I can really... that's all I can really say. It's not one of the episodes I like, but it's at least funny when seeing the plesiosaur beat the crap out of Meteor. So at least that won me a little bit. And if you want to see more about me, click on the annotations on the screen to see Raiders of the Loot Crate Combat Edition. Till then, Rasa is signing out.